Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to Loud Nerdy on a Friday afternoon. Um, okay, so we're gonna get to do this a lot this summer because we're taking some time off my D&D group. We're gonna do live movies every Friday, at least. Today's movie is Clown in a Cornfield. This movie right here opened yesterday. I saw it last night. Overall, fun slasher, not perfect, but pretty good. Got a lot going on, but we'll talk about that as we go. Um, but if you like and you like reviews and you want to see us do more reviews and you want to comment and be able to talk live with people on the Indie Escape Network, by all means, click subscribe to the Indie Escape YouTube channel, the Indie Escape YouTube channel down the bottom, or our Facebook page, or our Instagram page. So we have all those things going. Just going to adjust the camera a little bit. Okay. So Clown in Cornfield is interesting in the sense that it is very much reminiscent of traditional 80s slashers. Uh, as many people know me well. Um, Basically, I love slasher movies. I gotta fix the camera. Sorry, we're having trouble. My camera's acting up today. The dipstick is acting up. I'm wearing my Woodborough shirt just because it was established in 1996. But so I want to talk a little bit about Clown in the Cornfield as my camera's freaking out on me. Sorry, folks. Um, Good evening. I love the new intro. Yeah, you know what? It's more us. Jerry wrote it for us. Jerry Kimura of Slapjaw wrote it for us. So we're super excited. The new intro is really good. Anyway, let's talk about this clown. Let's talk about this cornfield. Um, it's it is a fun little slasher. Now, is it perfect? No. So basically, it's 2025 American slasher. Eli Craig is the director. Eli Craig has made some really interesting, fun horror comedies. Um, Tucker and Dale versus Evil is the main one, 2010. He worked on a little bit on Zombieland series. He's worked on a lot of different things. He's acted in some of them. But his director and writer stay in place are Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Little Evil, and Clown in Cornfield. Clown of Cornfield is, of course, based on a book and a book series. There are three books, I think. Um, you know, this character FRENDO has become a very big youth horror character. But this first movie is based on a 2020 novel by Adam Cesare. It stars Katie Douglas, Aaron Abrams, Carson McCormick, Kevin Durand, pretty good character actor with Glass Scene and Abigail. Go back that far, and Will Sasso, famous for his impressions and whatnot. And it premiered recently at South by Southwest. So basically, the movie starts in this place called Kettle Springs, Missouri. A group of teenagers are partying near the Bay Pen corn syrup factory. All this town of Kettle Springs is known for. It has a like an oligarch family that runs behind it. Um, these teenagers leave this party at the beginning. This is kind of like the opener, like the opener of like a Friday the 13th, the opener of a Halloween. They leave the party. They go to have sex. They're killed by the town mascot FRENDO in the cornfield, and then it shifts to present day. Quinn, again, I'm going to do not a lot of spoilers, but Quinn Maybrook is our final girl here. She is moving to Kettle Springs with her father, Glenn, who's a doctor. And basically, they're moving because they haven't. Her mother passed away from overdose. They're trying to get away. This small town, Kettle Springs, doesn't have a doctor. Her dad couldn't perform anyone in the ER, so it's coming to a small town to perform medicine. And she gets to the town, and the town's a little bit backwards, a little bit crazy. And basically, she just she falls in with the wrong clique, or the clique that the adults in the town think are the wrong clique. So it's Cole, Hill, and Janet, Quimby, Matt, Fitness Club Ronnie, who's Matt's girlfriend, Tucker, who's a nerd who loves showing horror films. They've created this series of YouTube videos with FRENDO the clown as the antagonist, They may or may not have been involved in an accidental fire in the town. So there's all kinds of things. But the adults in the town don't like the group. Quinn immediately is attracted to Cole and the group. Um, and so and that's the setup for this horror film. Is it scary? Is it like a new iconic franchise? I don't know. It could be. Um, but it is it fun? Yes. It's gory. Got good kills, not great kills. Not talking, kills. And some of the stuff is very. It's shot in a way that it's very nice towards old movies. So there's one kill that's directly like that looks directly attributable to Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. There's one kill that's the opening is set up like the Jaws sequence because it's a guy who's a little bit drunk and stoned, and the girl gets him, and she starts running into the cornfield, and she's taking off all her clothes, and he follows her, and that's the end of those two. I know this guy. Hey, I know you too, Kyle DeFina. Which did you like better, Hard Eyes or Clown and Corn? They're both good. I want to say this first. I think I like Hard Eyes better because it's an interesting meld. A romantic comedy melded onto a slasher movie is not something to see every day. But Clown and Cornfield has other things going on. So that's it. The town's creepy. It sets the tone. The cornfield is creepy. The burnt out corn syrup factory, which is it's kind of tongue in cheek because, as many people know, as this movie told a lot of people, that corn syrup is used as fake blood in movies. So there's that. There's some meta stuff with the movie within a movie where the kids are playing pranks on one another, where they're filming FRENDO scenes, um, and it's just the small town. It has attributes of a lot of different movies, right? It has attributes to Thanksgiving comes to mind. It has attributes to a movie called Dark Harvest that came out a few years ago. It's really fun Halloween themed, more dark town than slasher. Um, I know the guy who laughed at my comment too. I keep hearing corn syrup. It's not corn syrup. Corn syrup. Like stuff that makes Americans fat and makes everything taste better. And then they're trying to get rid of it. But so the movie has fun. It has a group of kids. They have to go up against FRENDO. It has an old man in a jail cell saying, "Beware, FRENDO." It has all of the makings of an '80s slasher movie, and it's fun. It's not serious. Um, it, it's I don't know that it's as good as Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I don't know if it's that good. I don't know that it's better than Hard Eyes either, but it is a pretty good slasher. And we have so many horror movies coming out this summer. Is it going to be number one at the box office? No, no, it's not. But if you're a slasher fan and you go see it, you'll get a chuckle out of it. You'll like some of the things, the homages to Halloween, the homages to um, Jaws. There are homages to be had. Eli Craig is a very big fan of the genre, and there's a little more going on than just a clown in a corner. But that's the only spoiler I'm going to give. Um, it has some big stars, like not big stars, but for a low budget horror film, big stars like Will Sasso, Kevin Durant, who are good character actors. Quinn gets in on the wrong side. First 2 days, she gets detention, and she gets sent to jail in her first 2 days in the town. Her father is just trying to navigate the breach between father and daughter after the mother passes away, and he moves her here without her. He moves her from Philly to the middle of the country. It's fun. It's got good kills, not great kills, but some good kills. Gory. It's not super scary, and especially in the third act reveal, it never achieves a level of terror. And it is not a traditional slasher in the sense that will Frendo become an icon? I don't know. It's not. He's not Pennywise. It's not Michael. It's not Jason. Yeah, is the best way to say it. It's it's the kind of movie that you can go to with a bunch of friends or watch at home at some point and just kind of like turn off, wait for the chainsaw to rev, kind of horror films. Um, and it's got at least ambition to be something more than traditional slasher. And I think that's an interesting thing about where we are now in 2025 making horror films and doing these movies. The There is a sense, and I don't, I think it's from a lot of people, but a lot of these horror movies are starting out one way and shifting gears into a completely different movie, and that's original. It's fun. It's like I'm enjoying the concept that we have like a romantic comedy stitched onto a traditional slasher with hard eyes, and I like the concept that we have a traditional slasher stitched onto what is essentially a movie about, you know, generational gaps, right? Father and son, father and daughter that aren't connecting because of this tragedy that's happened in their lives. She's a good final girl. Quinn is a good final girl, um, played by Katie Douglas, I believe her name is. Um, and she's really good. Her dad, played by Aaron Abrams, Dr. Maple, really nice. And then everybody else kind of incorporates the town. The two character actors, Kevin Durand plays Arthur Hill, Will Sass plays Sheriff Dunn. They basically are the elders of this town. Um, and so, like this movie, just so we're clear, it was already announced that it was going to be adapted prior to the novel's release. So the rights were purchased before the book even came out. Um, so it is one of those movies. It is, and I'm going to tell you right now, like because of its ambition, because of how many things it's got going on, there is a good, like right now, it's getting very good reviews. I'm giving it a good review. I think it's fun. I think it could do a lot worse than to go see Planet Cornfield. Um, I don't know. It's not Sinners, right? It's not Sinners, but it's got good effects. All the ladies that are part of the click group have pipes. They can scream. It's got a terrifying kind of like a clown in a cornfield. You're doing two 80s things that everybody's afraid of, right? Cornfields because of Children of the Corn, clowns because of just clowns. Um, and clowns with chainsaws are terrifying, as anybody in Northeastern PA knows when you go to Reaper's Revenge or Dracula's Forest. And like, so the idea that this clown is this mascot of this giant corporate company in town where everybody works and everything, it kind of makes for interesting things because it also means the town is heavily invested into the factory. So there is merch and there is like there are little things. There's a little like music, like a little Jack in the Box that the company has given out that shows up in various places, and it's usually before Frendo shows up, and you know what I mean. So you see the box, and somebody plays with it, and the clown jumps out of the box, and then usually the real Frendo shows up. So it's fun. I enjoyed it. I think we're off to a good start this summer. It started with Sinners in April. It's Thunderbolts is good. Now we're getting like we'll get the movies that kind of flesh out the rest of the summer. We have big movies coming out. We have a new Final Destination next week. We have Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning a week from that, and then Lilo and Stitch. So like it's starting to fill out. But this for horror fans, I think it's going to be the movie that maybe people are. It has potential to become a cult classic. Of course, because it's a slasher movie, there is a sequel opportunity. Um, and somebody asked me as we're leaving the theater, well, can this be a franchise? Do you think there'll be a second one? There are 3 books already. So Adam Cesare has written 3 books about this little town of Kettle Springs. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, it really depends on how well it does at the theaters this week. Um, whether or not we get a sequel. Now the budget is not high, not a huge budget. It's a low budget. It's a low budget horror film, but and it's made by Shutter, so it'll be probably be on Shutter by the end of the summer, middle of the summer. And you know, you could go wrong. Eli Craig has done a really good job. Um, I think it's one of those movies where there is a potential where it will become a a cult classic. Um, although it's not as good as it is. Like I know people are hoping it's a traditional '80s slasher. It may or may not, with the third act reveal. It may or may not live up to your expectations. With the third act reveal, that is very widely teased throughout. So some movies they tease, and then they don't provide what's actually happening. This one doesn't. This one gives you the teases. You can pick up on them or not pick up on them, and at the end, when third act starts, you can get an idea of where we got new screen queen. We always need new screen queens. She's really good. The kid playing Quinn is really good. I've seen every theory pushing this movie to the moon. I mean, yeah, it doesn't. It's one of those movies where I don't know that it's, you know, I don't know that it's if it grossed 10 million over the weekend. You know what I mean? They would be happy with 10 million. You know, I don't know what it's going to gross. I don't, you know, it is up against some juggernauts right now because we still have these two movies dominating theaters right now. This movie hanging on for the afterlife and deservedly so, and then this movie has about 3 weeks to try to actually become like a huge Marvel movie. So let's what else we got. Also, Minecraft looks to pass 400 million. So there's Clown in the Cornfield, by the way, did $600,000 last night, which is not bad. It is not a big budget movie. Um, and like I said, there is potential for this to be a franchise. If it grosses anywhere 5 million to 10 million, it's at almost 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was at 93 until the next batch of reviews came in this week, so now it's on about 80, 77%. Only on 2,700 screens. Um, we'll see how it does. With all the other big movies that are kind of like sitting there, because Thunderbolts and Sinners are still doing very well. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought Final Girl was good. That's a key you have to have for a good slasher. I think FRENDO in the cornfield is terrifying. I think a small town that is dependent on a factory where its product is no longer needed is an interesting subplot. I think the interesting thing that her mother overdosed is something that a lot of people can understand and try to she becomes an even more thing. Um, this is this right here is a like fantastic sequence um, where the level of tension is raised to an extreme amount. And Frendo's he's tall, he's imposing, he's a clown. Interesting thing, they first start noticing him in the videos. He's already in the video that the kids are producing. They don't notice him. But Quinn has a good eye, and she's like, I know you're the clown here, you're the clown here, or you're the person here. Who's the clown in the back of the video? And her friends are like, we never noticed that. And then they start looking at the videos, and he's there. He's always there. So, Kettle Springs return, maybe. You know, I there's some good kills, but not great. I enjoyed it. I don't think you could go wrong if you're a horror fan. It's worth a matinee for you at the very least because you'll come out of it like engaged and I think for the most part everybody's coming out of it going, I wouldn't mind a sequel with that kind of humor and that kind of smarts and ambition. Um, you know, and it has some really interesting little subplots that kind of take it away from the traditional slasher. But like I said, I think for the most part, it's a good, fun hour and 40 minutes of movies. Um, and it's firmly tongue in cheek, but also kind of like has a lot of ambition. It's talking about manufacturing in the United States, a town being down on its luck, a town that feels plagued. So, can't go wrong. Clown and Cornfield, a lot of fun. I might be back later this weekend with maybe Fight or Flight, depending if I get to see it. We have we have Lion King tickets tomorrow in Orlando for everybody's Mother's Day in the house. So, if there are any other questions, I know we got a couple people watching. Any other questions before I wrap this Clown in a Cornfield? I'll give it 2.5 friendos. It almost sticks the landing and would have been a three, like a 3 star. I think Hard Eyes is like 3.5. So I'm going to give it 2.5 friendos. And depending on how you feel about that, could be a higher rating for you, depending on how you feel about whether or not the kills are gratuitous enough for you, because they are full on, no CGI gore. It's gore like with makeup and stunt performance. So it's good. Um, and also a 2.5 because depending on how you feel about the reveal. The reveal may or may not be controversial. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. People might feel it's too much. But I'll be back almost. I'm gonna say almost every Friday for the summer. Thank you for joining us. Also, we got some stuff coming up on the network. No Generation movie this week. Generation movie will return not this Monday upcoming, but the following Monday because Rich is getting to see Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. But I will be back on Tuesday with Loud and Nerdy with Kyle and hopefully Kyle will be back and Jerry. Um, if you like slasher 80 slashers, you could do a lot worse than Friendo and Clown and Cornfield. And like I said, it has potential to be a cult film. It has potential to be a franchise. It has potential to make Friendo iconic. Um, I don't know that it's Pennywise level. It won't be Pennywise level iconic, but it could. Maybe it could happen that way. I don't know. I you know depends on how it does the box office. Thank you for joining us for this live review. We'll see everybody this upcoming Tuesday at 9 p.m. Loud and Nerdy with the boys. Thank you for joining us. May all your cornfields be filled with clowns. And thanks for being a part of the Indie Skate. Have a great day.